What is up, everybody? I wanted to bring you guys one more video before the night is out. This is on Shayna Baszler. This is being reported by Ringside News that Shayna Baszler is upset with her current position in the WWE. Now, my take on this is I really don't think Shayna Baszler has any kind of right to complain about her role in the WWE right now because she is the current NXT Women's Champion, and I think she ought to be happy with that because she's down at NXT. She's not on the main roster. She's not getting buried like the talent on the main roster, like Shinsuke Nakamura, like a Sanity, like a Sasha, like a Bailey, like my favorite Rey Mysterio. I mean, and I think Shayna Baszler is way overdoing it. I think she's just complaining to complain. I don't really think she has a right to. I mean, because I think Shayna Baszler needs to realize she's the current NXT Women's Champion. She could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse for her than what it is now. She could be on the main roster and getting completely buried on the main roster by Vince McMahon and the creative writing team. So I think Shayna Baszler needs to just quiet down because I don't think Shayna Baszler really understands that she could be in a worse position. She could be up on the main roster and she could be getting buried by the WWE creative team, and she could be getting buried on the main roster. And I don't think Shayna Baszler really understands that. I think she just really needs to take it down a notch or two and be thankful that she's down at NXT, and she's being trained by great people down there in NXT. And I think Shayna Baszler is just misrepresenting herself and saying, "Oh, I'm not happy." Well, you should be happy because you're the current NXT Women's Champion, and you have a great place down at NXT to be at, and I think you should be happy with that, and you should be happy being the current NXT Women's Champion. I think you ought to be grateful for that because you could be called up to the main roster and be getting buried just like Bailey, Sasha, Sanity, Rey Mysterio, and Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, all those people that came up from NXT that got buried, and I think, Shayna Baszler needs to realize she could be in those she could be in that position and get completely buried by WWE and Vince McMahon. And I think Shayna Baszler doesn't really understand that. And I think her being unhappy is just, her being Shayna Baszler. And I think Shayna Baszler is just playing up her heel character. But does she have a right to be unhappy? No, not really. Not in my opinion, but she says she does, but I don't think she really does because, like I said, Shayna Baszler could be going up to the main roster and be getting buried by Vince McMahon and the WWE creative team. So I think Shayna Baszler really needs to tone it down and realize she's the current NXT Women's Champion, and she's got a damn good place down in NXT that she can be herself. She could she could do whatever she wants, and NXT is a good promotion. NXT is providing for the future of WWE. That's what NXT is made for. It's made for the future for WWE. They're building you up for the future for WWE and the main roster. So Shayna Baszler needs to realize NXT is a damn good place to be. I mean, like I said, she could be on the main roster and be getting buried like a Sasha, a Bailey, a Sami Zayn, a Kevin Owens, a Shinsuke Nakamura, a Kevin Owens, people like that have came up from NXT and that have been completely and utterly buried on the main roster. So I think Shayna Baszler is just playing up her heel character like she always does. But does she have a right to complain about being, not being happy with her current position in WWE? No, not really. She's a current NXT Women's Champion. So I think Shayna Baszler needs to really tone it down and just be happy with her current role in NXT, being the current NXT Women's Champion. I think she ought to realize she's in a good place down at NXT. She's being molded for the main roster for WWE. She's being built up to be, in the WWE in the near future. And I think that is something that Shayna Baszler really does need to understand. She's being molded for WWE for the future, for a main roster call up for WWE. And I think Shayna Baszler needs to understand that. And Shayna Baszler needs to understand she could be called up to the main roster and they have no plans for her. They have nothing to do for her. And she could be in that position, and that's what she doesn't understand. So, Shayna Baszler, my advice to you is be happy down at NXT. Be happy that you're a be happy that you're a current NXT Women's Champion. You don't have a right to complain because NXT is a damn good place. They're molding you for the future in WWE and for a main roster call up in WWE. So Shayna Baszler, tone it down. You're a NXT Women's Champion. You should be happy with that. Should you be called up to the main roster? Yeah, but you're not. That's just the way WWE works. You're not going to be called up right now. You may be in the future maybe after WrestleMania or during SummerSlam this coming year. You may be called up after that. So who knows when you could get called up, So Shayna Baszler, like I said, take my advice. Be happy you're in NXT. Be happy that you're being molded for the future of WWE and for a main roster call up in WWE. Stop, just tone it down. You don't gotta be like that because you don't Shayna Baszler, my advice to you is why are you unhappy? You're a current NXT Women's Champion. You should be happy with that. But do I think you have a right to be unhappy? No. Because you're a current NXT Women's Champion. You're making money. You're molding yourself for the future of WWE and for a main roster call up spot. You're being molded for that, so you should be thankful for the position you have now as the current NXT Women's Champion. You ought to be thankful for that because you're surrounded by a lot of great talent down in NXT that's molding you for the future and for the WWE as a call-up spot. I think you should be thankful for that, man, because Shayna Baszler, you could be a hell of a lot worse off. You could be on the main roster and you could get completely and utterly buried by Vince McMahon and the creative writing team. So you need to think about what you're saying, Shayna Baszler. Think about your position out of NXT. You got the highest prestige down at NXT. You're a women's champion. You're a current NXT Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler. You should be happy with that. Hell, there's many women on the main roster that would kill to be in your spot. A Bayley, a Sasha, an Asuka, a Mandy Rose, a Sonya Deville. Those women would kill to be in your position as the current NXT Women's Champion. Down at NXT, they would kill to have your spot as the NXT Women's Champion. I know they would. You could ask Sasha Banks, would she rather be on the main roster or down at NXT? And I'm sure Sasha Banks will tell you she'd rather be down at NXT as the current NXT Women's Champion. The same goes for Bayley. The same goes for Mandy Rose. The same goes for Sonya Deville. The same goes for Asuka. These women would tell you where they would rather be. Would they rather be on the main roster getting buried, or would they rather be back down at NXT as the NXT Women's Champion, having matches with all the brilliant women down there in NXT? So Shayna Baszler, shut your mouth. Keep your mouth shut. You're a current NXT Women's Champion. You should be happy with that. You should be happy you're not on the main roster right now, because if you were, you would be getting buried, underutilized. You would not have any plans going into WWE right now, because WWE is in airplane mode right now, and so WWE would have no plans for you, Shayna. Really, if you really come to think about it, WWE would have no direction for you. They would have no plans for you on the main roster. You would be getting buried, just like a Bailey, like a Sasha, like an Asuka, like a Mandy Rose, like a Sonya Deville. All those women on the main roster that have come up from NXT have gotten buried. You would end up just like them on the main roster. So my advice to you, Shayna Baszler, be happy that you're a current NXT Women's Champion, that you're being molded for the future of WWE and for a call-up spot in the near future for WWE on the main roster. That's my advice to you. Now, do I think you have a right to be unhappy? No, because you, Shayna Baszler, you have the highest prestige in NXT right now. You're a current NXT Women's Champion. You don't have a right to complain. You don't have a right to say, "Oh, I'm unhappy." How can you be unhappy when you're a NXT Women's Champion? You have women down there that have a lot of talent that you're getting to work with, that you're getting in-ring time with. How can you say you're unhappy? You're being molded for the future of WWE and for a WWE main call-up roster spot. You should be happy about that. If I was you, I would be ecstatic about that, because I would know when I was down at NXT, I was being molded for the future of WWE and for a main roster call-up spot. Now, Shayna Baszler, I don't know why you're so upset that you didn't get called up. I mean, do I think you should have been? Yes. But right now, Shayna, you're still green right now. You're still green as grass. You need to learn a few more things before your call up, and I think you still have some time left down at NXT to prove. I really do. So, Shayna, take your time. Be happy down at NXT. You're an NXT Women's Champion. Be happy with that. Continue to thrive and be great down at NXT. And when the time is right, you will be called up and you will have a main roster spot in WWE. That I can promise you. You're not going to be left behind. You're not going to be overlooked. So, Shayna Baszler, just enjoy your time down at NXT and know that you're being molded for the future of WWE and for a main roster call-up spot probably after WrestleMania or SummerSlam, somewhere around near there. So, Shayna, just be happy with what you got, because like I said, you could be a lot worse off. You could be getting buried on the main roster like a Sasha, like a Bailey, like a Sanity, like a Rey Mysterio, like an Ascension, and a Sami Zayn, and a Kevin Owens. All those people that came up from NXT that are currently being buried by WWE and Vince McMahon. You should be happy with that. You're not having to deal with that right now. So, Shayna Baszler, just be happy you're a current NXT Women's Champion, and be happy you're not getting completely and utterly buried by WWE and the WWE creative team and Vince McMahon. You ought to be happy about that, because we all know Vince McMahon would bury you like he buried Bayley, Sasha, The Ascension, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, Asuka. Do I have to go on? Kevin Owens. The list goes on and on. So, Shayna Baszler, be happy with your role down at NXT as the NXT Women's Champion. You have fine talent to work with. You're getting in-ring time. You're a champion. Be happy with that. And then when your time is up down at NXT, you will be called up. Probably around, like I said, WrestleMania or SummerSlam time, somewhere around in there. But other than that, Shayna Baszler, just be happy you're down at NXT, the best company with the best people that are training you and that are molding you for the future of WWE and a main roster call up for the WWE one day, that's what's going to be made for you. So be happy with that. I would be. If I was in your shoes, I would be happy as hell. Because NXT is a damn good company. I mean, Shayna Baszler, how can you be unhappy? You're down at NXT. Triple H has got you in good hands. He's molding you for the future. He's molding you to be a future SmackDown champion. Triple H is molding you to be a future SmackDown Live Women's champion or a Monday Night Raw Women's champion. I mean, Shayna Baszler, you could be a SmackDown Live Women's champion. You could be a Monday Night Raw Women's champion. But right now, you're down at NXT. You're the current NXT Women's champion. Be happy with that. Be happy you're being taken care of down at NXT. And just be happy with that. And when the time is right, they will call you up to the WWE. They will call you and be happy that you're an NXT Women's Champion. Be happy with that. And when the time is right, you will be called up to WWE and you will have a main roster spot that will be all yours and you will get to prove yourself on the main roster. That's going to happen for you, Shayna. I guarantee it will. I mean, you're athletic, you're talented, but right now you got a lot to learn. So be happy, continue to thrive down at NXT, and just let that be that. So there you go. So this is my advice to Shayna Baszler. Just be happy down at NXT as the current NXT Women's Champion. So this is a breaking video about Shayna Baszler being unhappy with her spot in WWE, and this is being reported by Ringside News. So guys, if you guys like this video about Shayna Baszler, hit that thumbs up. If you guys like my YouTube channel, hit that red subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate that. So thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I have more news to come for you guys. So keep an eye on my channel for more WWE news. I got more news coming your guys' way tomorrow. I just wanted to bring you guys this news on Shayna Baszler being unhappy with her role in WWE as reported by Ringside News. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow with more WWE news. And I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. And I hope you guys have a Happy New Year. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. You guys have a good night. Thank you for watching. Take care, guys.